All right, guys, first day that Maddie is officially back on his bike after the wisdom teeth got removed. He's like barely good enough to ride. Let's talk to him a little bit. How are you feeling?
I feel great.
You don't feel great.
No, not great.
Look at your face. It looks like it's
still
so
swollen.
funny.
Yeah, it's still pretty fat. I've been icing it, but I don't have any pain though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
No pain, and I can finally kind of eat something more than applesauce. So that's cool.
That's gotta be so frustrating.
But
what's going on behind us?
I don't know what they're filming. Relative race or something. That's what I read on the flag over there. But they have one of those giant blow up balls and
let me show them
TV cameras.
Yeah, there's like a crew here, guys. They have like a bunch of like pretty impressive camera equipment over here. They had one of those giant balls in there and they're running around. So if any of you guys know what the relative challenge is, the dudes were wearing red shirts. I know that. They're playing on a soccer field. But yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll probably get some answers eventually.
I still want to go play with that ball though.
It does look pretty cool.
I always want to be in one of those.
Look at your face.
Maybe not right now.
I can't believe your face.
I know.
All right, so no more talking for you. I'm going to do majority of talking today. Don't worry about this.
I can do a limited, but yeah.
I know you can ride enough though, right? You can do pretty good
okay.
riding. All right, let's start off with doing a double peg grind on the rail real quick. Okay, just do a double peg grind across the rail. Easy as that. Just like that. Just right there. Yep. A staple trick BMX in modern day. Relatively easy for the most part. I mean, I feel like a majority of the kids that I see at skate parks could do that.
Yeah, it doesn't take all too much.
It doesn't. But why are kids so scared to do them on quarter pipes? That's what I want to know. Nobody does it.
Yeah.
Nobody does it.
Maybe because the only thing I can think is maybe because it feels better on slightly bigger quarter pipes.
Now,
a lot of people would want to steer clear. Like when you try and do it on one of these small quarter pipes.
But it's doable, and especially these guys that are doing hard 180s out of it and bar spins, like you have enough bike control to do it. So. My biggest pet peeve in modern day BMX is when I see a really good kid that's riding and I'm like, can you do this? He's like, I don't ride transitions, I only ride street. I'm like, you should just be a BMX rider, ride everything, anything that's in front of you. Do not set your standards of like, yep, this is me, I'm riding in this box right here, I will never venture out of it ever. BMX is not supposed to be that. BMX is supposed to be having a good time, and today we're going to teach you guys how to grind on a quarter pipe because I feel like that's a lost art. And to be honest with you, I've said this in an interview before, if I ever got a chance to just do one trick, and just be able to do that one consistently over again, if I could ride a half pipe and do double peg grinds, I would be so psyched because that's the best feeling trick when it's done right. And we're going to show you how to do it right today. So I'm going to be doing majority of the talking, Maddie's going to be doing majority of the riding, actually every bit of the riding. And then hopefully we'll be able to teach you guys how to do quarter pipe grinds today. So let's go over to the half pipe. First things first, the double peg stall. You should be able to do this if you were trying to do grinds. So you see how Maddie is sitting on there? See how the bike is almost straight up, straight down? It's got a slight lean to it. That's how the bike has to be. You don't want to lean too much, Matt. Show me what happens if you lean too much. If you lean too much, you will fall over. You definitely do not want to do that. If you lean too far to the other side, you are definitely going to be falling in. So my advice with this one is a bunch of different baby steps. You want to go up, you want to try to kick the bike up nice and flat. You got to get the pegs even before they can go up on top of the coping. You have to lean the bike over while keeping your body weight not too far onto the deck. If you want, you could use your pedal at first, but you want to try not to use it as time goes on because it's definitely not a good habit to be into. So make sure you can master this one. That's what happens when you do not get the pegs on there right and your lean's a little bit off, so don't do that one. So like Maddie was saying earlier, on a steeper quarter pipe is definitely going to be easier because you see how mellow this ramp is? Now look at where Maddie's pegs are. If his bike was straight up, straight down, go ahead, Matt, put your bike more straight up, straight down. You can see the pegs are barely on there. That is like on the verge of falling off. So when you're on a steeper ramp, the ramp transition will be inward farther and you could be on there better. We'll show you guys on the 7-foot for an example. So here's the biggest ramp here, and you can see how Maddie's bike is straight up, straight down, and he has tons of pegs there.
Straight up. Feels so much easier.
Tons of real estate on there.
You can lock in, you can do whatever you want.
But it's scary to come back in, that's for sure, because you have to do like a bit of a free fall at one point.
It's a lot easier though.
Go ahead, drop back in real quick. See that free fall right there? That is scary. So the next thing, after you're starting to get very comfortable with the peg stalls, we're going to start working on the body lean. And when I say body lean, you want to be able to keep your body into the transition of the ramp while leaning your bike over there to make as much contact with the coping as possible on your pegs. This is going to take a lot of time to get used to the feeling because it feels really strange at first, but once you master this, it's going to feel amazing. So what went wrong with that one?
It's too mellow to get that aggressive. That's really it. You're not, no matter what, like if you do too much of a lean, you're not getting any peg on them.
But do you consider yourself an expert peg stall?
I would consider myself an expert peg staller. I'm pretty confident with expert, or I'm pretty confident with peg stalls and peg
But I feel like
stuff.
you do not lean the bike enough when you do it on regular quarter bikes. When I watch you riding like Cloud 9 and stuff, I'm like, yeah, Maddie can get a little bit better at that.
Really?
So, yeah. I do see some holes in your game, so
well,
maybe that's why.
I'm glad you know some. Should have called it out.
All right, let's
maybe
get some
not
more
on
of
this quarter pipe, but another one.
So now we're moving over to the hard part, the grinds, and this is where a lot of listening is going to need to happen right now if you're going to attempt this, because there's so much technique that goes into this one. You want to be doing the same exact lean that you just did with the aggressive leans for the double peg, but now you have to incorporate a carve, meaning that you have to go up on an angle on the ramp. Now when you do this, there's going to be a lot more movement going on with the bike, so everything's got to be mathed out and put together perfectly. Now the hardest part to carry over from the stalls to the grinds is what to do with the back end of the bike. You want to make sure that the back end is perfectly even with the front end of the bike when you're doing the grind. Of course, you want to get the pegs above the coping, but not too far above the coping. You want to get it in a nice relaxed area and try to make both the front and the rear pegs hit evenly. Now this is going to take a lot of effort, meaning you're going to have to do so many of them to start feeling consistent and comfortable with it. But the more you do, the better it's going to feel, and it's going to come natural that you're going to be wanting to do this trick more. Now another thing you want to try to avoid is leaning the pegs too far onto the deck, because if you do lean them onto the deck, the ends of the pegs will dig into the ram and it will ruin the double peg grind. Now when you start leaning the bike over, you want to see where to put your legs. If you're a rider that is regular footed and not goofy, you want to make your front foot go on the inside of the seat while you lean the bike over. Unless you have extremely low seat and you won't be able to fit your leg in there, you almost want your shin to touch the frame from leaning the bike over so far. And if you are a goofy footed rider, the best advice I can give you is to anticipate your front foot pedaling down and your back foot going upward. That way it will give you a proper lean and you can get the bike over. As you can see Maddie doing as an example. His left pedal's going down, his right pedal's going up, and he is leaning his shin over the frame. And after all that practice, do you feel like you gained some wisdom from this?
I really did. I did learn switch foot double peg grinds.
You like what I did there?
That. Oh, that's not funny. I'm down 4, and I'm down 4 wisdom points right now.
Did you gain some new ones at least?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel normal again.
Yeah, you started getting pretty consistent. Because it's all about leaning the bike. Leaning the bike is crucial, and I was trying to explain to everybody.
It comes down to a lot of confidence, I think.
Of course.
It's getting comfortable at where, because you could basically ride across the top of the coping without putting your pegs on at all once you get real confident.
Yeah.
And then the next step is just actually dropping the bike, and you could grind forever, or you could grind for no time at all. Mm-hmm. So I think it comes down to a lot of confidence on it. But
totally agree.
Quarters like this is not the easiest spot to do it.
No, this is the hardest setup.
This is the hardest setup. So
and if you're doing grinds, you definitely want something wider too. Like this is not a wide ramp. So I'm assuming that those are 4-foot pieces. So that's going to be 16 feet wide. That is not a wide ramp when you're doing double peg grinds. You definitely want to be able to carve up on an angle this way, not go straight up and try to grind. That's really hard to do. So I feel pretty good about this video explaining double peg grinds. Now my goal with this one is to get more people trying this because it's so much fun. And all you street guys out there that are claiming that you don't ride transition, like you guys can get involved in this. And if you guys find a setup that's out in the streets like this that have some kind of transition, you guys could definitely kill it when it comes to grinds. It would be awesome to see. So more grinds in BMX on transition. That's my request out there. Something I would love to see more in BMX is more people riding spine minis and grinding on spines, because I feel like that's a lost art and it would be amazing to see it again. So guys, that's gonna be it for this how-to. I hope it helped you out. Until next time, remember to subscribe to the channel and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.